Mr. Biron, you mentioned in your testimony that over 95% of small U.S.-based businesses using the eBay marketplace platform are engaged in exporting versus 4% of traditional businesses. Can you explain how you arrived at these figures? In particular, what is a traditional business in this context?
Well, that was based on comparing data from the eBay marketplace with data that I believe was Census Bureau data that we had, and a trade economist at the University of Geneva actually analyzed. So, U.S. government data on small business and their trading in the traditional economy compared to the percentages of exporting going on over our marketplace.
Okay, thank you. Next question, again for Mr. Biron. Your testimony says that smaller businesses are reaching roughly 10 times as many markets per year than the traditional U.S. businesses. Please explain the difference in these markets and their importance to the overall business growth.
That was simply data to explain sort of the difference between the kind of global marketing that a small internet business can do. And again, they're not businesses that like just exist on the internet. These are small storefront businesses in many cases that also use the internet. So they're selling locally and they're also able to reach anyone who uses the services that they use. So if they're up on eBay, they're being seen by 140 million customers potentially around the world. So the traditional business export model for small businesses tends to be, and this is why only about 4% do it, oftentimes they're small businesses that are either located near a border, so they have customers coming across the border regularly, or they have family connections, let's say, to a particular country, so they have export relationships through that, or maybe they're a business that is part of another bigger business's supply chain. So maybe they're supplying a particular business in another country. This is why small businesses traditionally have oftentimes only exported to one or two countries a year. In the internet global business model, where you can be a really tiny business, but now you're literally being seen by individual customers around the world, and you're using your internet combined with services like eBay and PayPal, combined with then UPS, FedEx, the Postal Service to then ship packages. So, like I said, on our site, the average number of export markets for they're still tiny micro businesses in many cases, ended up being just under 30 per year.
Okay, in your opinion, how difficult would it be for a small business to reach the international marketplace without cross-border data flows?
Essentially impossible. I mean, today, as we've heard, whether you're a giant multi-billion-dollar business or you're an individual who wants to send an email to somebody, at the end of the day, it involves cross-border data. And so, you can't get paid by somebody outside the country, generally, if you don't have an ability to have cross-border data flow. So it underpins, whether you're a tiny individual entrepreneur or a giant business, it underpins the way all kind of cross-border business gets done.
Thank you. Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate it.